What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer, and this is my review for the movie Alien. Now, Alien is a movie that came out back in 1979, and this movie is like a sci-fi and a horror movie mixed as one. This is a classic, and since there's no more new releases to review, I thought let's just start doing some classics like Alien from 1979. Now, before you stop me, yes, there are some new releases that I haven't reviewed. One of them is Capone. It's Tom Hardy playing Al Capone at the end of his life. Apparently he defecates on himself the whole time. I'm out. I don't want to watch that or review it. And then there's Scoob that I could have rented for $20 so I could have Velma tell Fred that he has toxic masculinity. I want nothing to do with that either. So, classics, Alien, 1979. Let's do the review. The movie Alien is directed by Ridley Scott and it stars Sigourney Weaver along with this crew of people who they work for this Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and this group of people go and they find mineral ore, I guess that's like our oil now. Like if we had oil rigs here on Earth where you have to go spend time away from your family and work on an oil rig, that's kind of what they do in the future, but you gotta go into space, which means you're on a spaceship. The point I'm making is that these are normal people, right? These are just everyday people, other than the fact that they can fly a spaceship. They're pretty much normal people. They're not badasses, is what I'm getting at. It's not like the first Predator movie where, yes, the Predator was there and he was scary, but at the end of the day, he was up against like a bunch of badasses, including Arnold, right? So in this movie, they're just normal people. So you see this crew flying through space, and then their motherboard system wakes them up. They're all in hypersleep so that they can go through space without aging, which is a pretty cool, nifty thing that we should really invest in that. Like, that should be the next thing that Elon Musk does, right? He's like, I can stop you from aging when you want to wake up 200 years from now. All right, like that'd be pretty cool. I'd actually invest in that. So this crew wakes up from hypersleep and they're told, hey, there's a distress signal coming from this planet nearby and you have to go check it out per the rules and agreement that you signed. If there's a distress signal, you have to check it out, or you forfeit all the money that you would have made on this trip. So they're like, all right, let's go check it out. We'll get there, we'll search for clues, and then we'll head out. And they do the classic horror movie problem where they spread out and look for clues, because one of the guys by himself named Kane goes down into a hatch and he finds all these eggs and he's like, let me just get a little closer, and then blah, the face hugger grabs him, right? It's that classic face hugger jumping out, landing on your face, and the crew, they don't know what it is and they want to save their friends, so they take him aboard the spacecraft and they're like, let's get out of here, there's no signs of life, and they take off. At this point I should probably say that I'm spoiling some of the movie, but it's Alien from 1979. Like, either you wanted to watch this and you already have, or you're never going to watch it, which I appreciate you watching the video, and maybe me talking about this movie inspires you to watch the video. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just going to give you more of the synopsis now. So they get into the infirmary, they're like, let's cut this thing off of him. They go to cut it off of him, and of course it bleeds acid, because of course it can bleed acid. It's like this perfect being. And so they're like, all right, we can't take it off of him. Let's see if it runs its course. And sure enough, a couple hours later, the facehugger falls off, and it seemingly is dead, and Kane wakes up, and he's fine, little scratches, and he's like, I'm hungry. So they're like, all right, well, let's eat some food. And at that point, I actually paused the video and had to go do something. When I came back, I realized that scene is called The Last Supper, which is pretty cool because you know what happens in that scene when the alien bursts out of his chest and it takes off, and then they're like, okay, we gotta go find this thing. And this is where what I really like about this movie. You got this crew, you know, they're not a bunch of badasses, but they're like, we're gonna catch this thing, we're gonna stop this thing, whatever it is, and we're gonna contain it, maybe shoot it off into space, whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna find it and contain it. So they go looking for it. What they don't know is that it grows at a rapid rate, and now it's this gigantic predator. Not the Predator, but you get the idea. And now it's actually hunting them. That, in my opinion, is the best part of this movie, when the alien is actually coming after them instead, because it kind of flips the script. You're like, all right, we got a flamethrower, let's go get this thing. And then they realize this thing's massive, and it's terrifying. I think at that point it was a sci-fi movie, right? But when the alien is gigantic and scary and coming after them, and it has a few jump scares, that's when this movie really turns into a horror movie, and I like that about this movie. And since I'm talking about things I like, let's talk about the rest of the things I like, the things I dislike, and I'll give you a rating. The first thing I like about this movie, the claustrophobia, I think. I mean, you're alone in space, right? The poster said, in space, no one can hear you scream, But that's how it feels like in this movie. You're watching this movie and you feel like you're there with them. There's one point in this movie, and it's actually my favorite part of this movie. Towards the end, you got the alien, you got Ripley, and the alien's kind of stuck in this little area, and you got Ripley who's trying to put on her suit and then trying to get over the chair and strap herself in, and she's trying to do all these things, and they cut the music out completely. So it's just her, the alien, and you, the viewer, and you feel like you're there, and it's tense. And even all these years later, when I just rewatched it, I was tense. I was sitting on the couch like, come just make it to that chair. Like, I know the outcome, but because of the way they filmed that scene, and because of the way that they just cut all the sound except for what she was making, and you're like, shh, you want to be quiet, and that's what it would have been like, right? It would have just been her, it would have been music. And I like that they went that way with it, and that they decided, you know what, let's cut all the sound except for what she's making and the alien's making. So you got this alien struggling to get out of this hole, trying to come over to her and kill her, and then you've got her trying to essentially come up with this awesome last-minute plan to get rid of the alien. It's just fantastic, and I really love that about this movie. But one of the things I dislike about this movie, guys, actually, is the special effects. Now, it's one of those things where you're not really supposed to knock a movie from 1979 for its special effects. I mean, back then they were probably groundbreaking, and oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But when you're watching it now, you do kind of see the man in the outfit, right? I mean, that's what it seems like. Like, I just watched Alien Covenant a couple months ago, and that movie, that alien looks like a perfect alien, but it's all CGI, right? I mean, it can do all these crazy things. It looks awesome, but this alien was a man in a suit. And it's noticeable now, and I think that hurts the movie now. Like, when I show my kids these movies, many years from now, I don't want to terrify them, but when I show them these movies, like I was shown by my dad, I want to show them Alien first, because I want them to enjoy that first movie before they see all the CGI, and they're like, oh, that looks so fake, Dad. Like, I want them to enjoy that. I want them to get scared by that original, because by the time you get to Alien Covenant, or probably Aliens, honestly, I know that movie looks a lot more realistic. It just doesn't look realistic is the point I'm making. And yeah, I'm going to knock the movie for that, even though it's from 1979. It's just, to me, as the viewer watching it right now, I'm just like, okay, I mean, okay, like, I get it. You didn't have all the CGI special effects back then. You did what you could, but it's noticeable is what I'm saying. So with all that being said, guys, I got to go ahead and give the movie this rating. That's right, in space, no one can hear you scream. Now, I want to take a second now to talk about my rating system. I always put up something stupid, silly, right? It's just like, it's a meme, or it's just, it's nonsensical. Because ratings are nonsensical, because everybody sees movies a different way. So I hate rating movies like, I give that movie an A+. Why? Who cares? That means you just love the movie. I mean, there are movies that I love, and I'm like, hey, this is my favorite movie this year. I've given movies that rating. There are movies I hate where I'm like, this is the worst movie I've seen this year, and that's my rating for it. But overall, ratings don't really matter. I feel like people take them to heart, and they're like, oh, he only gave it a 7 out of 10. I don't know if I can see this. Who cares? Just go see the movie. Enjoy the movie. That's the point I'm trying to make with my rating system, I guess. And that's my movie review. Guys, if you enjoyed this movie review, hit the like button and the share button if you want to share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. And finally, if you've seen Alien and you want to talk about it in the comment section down below, maybe give me your thoughts. Let me know what you like about it, what you dislike about it. Maybe you love the movie. Maybe you hate the movie. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.